year is 1710. Germany was suffering from repeated crop failures due to unusually harsh winters. There was continuing unrest between Protestants and Catholics caused by the Protestant Reformation. In the fortified medieval town of Simmern, located in the German state of Rhineland-Palatinate, 19-year-old Johann Jakob Crouse, his widowed mother Anna, and his 20-year-old sister Maria left their troubled homeland for the promise of the New World. They embarked from a seaport in Holland and, after stops in England and Ireland, crossed the Atlantic and arrived in New Amsterdam, later New York City. They settled, along with many other Palatinate Germans, in Fort Plain, New York, probably in response to offers of free land. In 1724, Johann married Catherine Nellis in Fort Plain. They had 8 children, 4 girls and 4 boys. It is likely these children were the ones who later anglicized their name to its present spelling. They were no doubt motivated by the fact that the British Army employed regiments of Hessian mercenaries to assist in subduing uprisings by the upstart American colonials. Newly arrived German Americans did not want to be associated with them. 2 of their grandsons, George and Robert Crouse, were militiamen in the 1777 Revolutionary War Battle of Oriskany. General Nicholas Herkimer and 800 members of the Tryon County Militia, composed primarily of Palatine German immigrants, were ambushed by Loyalists and Indians in a small valley near Oriskany, New York. General Herkimer, although suffering from a mortal wound, directed a spirited defense. The attacking Indians finally retreated, leaving perhaps 500 militia casualties. Robert was taken captive by the Indians, tortured, and killed. With the opening of the Erie Canal in 1825, many New York residents decided that there was opportunity in the Western Territory of Michigan. 2 of Johann's descendants, Chauncey and Robert C. Crouse, arrived in 1832 and became successful farmers and merchants. They platted the village of Hartland in 1842 and built nearly identical houses in the early 1850s, Chauncey's within the village across the street from his mill, and Robert's a quarter of a mile farther west on a country lane that would later become Crouse Road. In 1842, Robert's son, John Bernard Crouse, was born in a log cabin in Hartland. In 1863, J.B. as he was known, married Betsy Westfall. They were members of the Hartland Methodist Church where Betsy taught Sunday school. Their only son, John Robert Crouse, was born in 1874. J.B. was an astute businessman. He started several successful businesses in central Michigan, including a general store, grist mill, and pickle works in Highland that produced 60 barrels of pickles a day at full production. When the Civil War began, he personally raised 2 companies of volunteer infantry. In Rochester, New York, Nathaniel Joel Clark enlisted in the 13th New York Regiment and later was wounded at the Battle of Fredericksburg, Virginia. Private Clark's daughter, Fanny, would later become John Robert Crouse's wife. In 1882, J.B. was joined in the pickle business by his brother-in-law, H.A. Tremaine. In 1888, they left Hartland for Cleveland, where they formed the Cleveland Carbon Company to produce carbon points for the rapidly expanding electric lighting industry. In 1893, the partners moved to Fostoria, Ohio. This town offered free natural gas to those interested in forming a business. J.B. and Henry Tremaine sold their Cleveland company and formed the Crouse-Tremaine Carbon Company in Fostoria. After selling this business to the National Carbon Company in 1899, they turned their full attention to a new business, the Fostoria Incandescent Lamp Company. They later purchased the Fostoria Bulb and Bottle Company, changed its name to the Fostoria Glass Specialty Company, and produced the highly profitable and nationally recognized Fostoria Mazda electric light bulb. In 1898, J. Robert, with his new bride, Fanny Emmeline Crouse, joined his father and uncle in the enterprises in Fostoria. He soon became a valued partner in the various companies. In 1901, John B. Crouse, his son Robert, along with brother-in-law Henry Tremaine and Henry's cousin Burton Gadd Tremaine, consolidated their Fostoria holdings with the Sunbeam Incandescent Light Company of Chicago with Franklin S. Terry as president. Over the next 10 years, this company became highly successful with worldwide affiliations. In 1902, the group organized the National Electric Lamp Association, offering memberships to many smaller lamp manufacturers around the country, and moved their offices back to Cleveland, Ohio. A research and development laboratory was established on a beautiful campus in Cleveland called Neela Park. An island was acquired on the eastern shore of Lake Ontario and named Association Island, which they developed and used for management meetings and recreation. In 1912, the company, Neela Park, and Association Island were sold to General Electric, their major competitor. J.B. and H.A. Tremaine then established several more companies, including Arctic Dairy Company, Tabor Ice Cream Company, Nizer Laboratories, and the Nizer Corporation, which became a pioneer in the frozen food industry and produced frozen ice cream cabinets under the name Kelvinator. From 1902 to 1913, J. Robert and Fanny were blessed with 6 children: Doris, Alma, Bob, Henry, Mary, and Bill. In the late 1930s, these children had married and were raising 15 grandchildren. At the conclusion of the Great War, he and Fanny returned to the place of his birth for a grand experiment. With the following comment, he began his mission: "I will be dealing with folks I love. I was born in Hartland. I will perchance die there. I shall be buried there, and I am going to try to work out my last dream there." He built and donated an impressive library filled not only with books, but significant artworks and mementos of famous personalities, plus a music hall with one of the finest organs available, and a recreation building, all for community use and enjoyment. These buildings are still in use today. Since 1932, Handel's Messiah has been performed annually at Christmas time in the Hartland Music Hall. To assist local farmers, he modernized the 1850s ancestral Crouse farm. Associated with Michigan Agricultural College, now Michigan State University, and offered the resulting knowledge and techniques to all. He was proud of his swine production, Hereford cattle and award-winning bulls, large dairy herd, and crops of corn, wheat, and hay. To assist local families, J. Robert purchased and renovated a local building that became the Hartland Area Craft Shop. It offered equipment and expert instruction in weaving and other cash-producing crafts for anyone interested. Hartland area products were marketed throughout the country under the name Cromane Crafts. During the Great Depression of the 1930s, this activity produced the sole income of many Hartland Township families. Fanny Crouse was intimately involved with the craft shop and became an expert weaver herself. J. Robert established impressive trust funds that provided college grants for local high school seniors and arranged senior trips to our nation's capital. He provided seed money for local projects and established the Community Life newspaper to keep residents abreast of local news. The paper is still published today. He placed daughter-in-law Marguerite Crouse in charge of social services. She and her committee planned activities and visited many homes in the area to determine the health of the community and offer assistance where needed. In 1918, he turned his full attention to his plans for Lake Walden. He named his Lake Walden complex Walden Woods to honor the memory of author Henry David Thoreau, whom he admired greatly. He constructed a complex of impressive buildings designed by noted architect Emil Lorch, Dean of the University of Michigan School of Architecture. Included initially were Thoreau Bungalow, used as a sleeping and dining facility for his family and friends, a bathhouse, boathouse, and later 2 bunkhouses and a double cottage for accommodating sizable groups of his friends and business acquaintances. As his family of 6 grew older, he had large tents placed on wooden platforms for his children to sleep. These were later replaced by 6 permanent cottages located throughout the woods. He installed an electric generator in the bathhouse so that all buildings could be provided with electricity. He scattered tree-mounted lighting throughout the woods for a delightful nighttime display. In the early 1920s, he constructed larger dining and lodging buildings to accommodate his many business associates. 2 sleeping lodges were built, named Sunshine and Friendship. The jewel in Walden Woods' crown was, and is, Cromain Hall, where meeting space and fine dining were offered. Like Association Island, Walden Woods was transformed into a nature resort where business associates could hold meetings, enjoy the natural beauty, and take advantage of the many opportunities for rest and recreation. Cozy wood fires in beautiful fieldstone fireplaces took the chill off on cool mornings. Freed from the daily constraints of business life, J. Roberts' true personality emerged. He loved entertaining and invited large groups of friends and associates to the shores of Lake Walden. Some arrived by the busload, some by car. He welcomed them all with his boisterous good humor. In addition to organizing inspirational meetings, social and athletic activities were offered. Early morning exercise, baseball, tennis, swimming, and nature walks were the order of the day. J. Robert had a particular fondness for children and delighted in providing supervised games and activities for them. Following J. Roberts' death in 1946, son-in-law Phil McBride took over in 1952 and welcomed many religious and educational associations to Walden Woods. J. Robert Crouse Jr., Bob, became manager of real estate holdings and farm operations, in addition to duties at his Buick dealership in Howell and the Hartland area hardware. In 1959, Phil's son, Bob McBride, took the reins from his father and ran Walden Woods for 42 years. As host and manager, he became the embodiment of J. Roberts' famous quotation, "Friendly association for wholehearted service." Each year, many groups and associations looked forward to coming back to the Woods, where they knew Bob would greet them warmly and cater to their every need. Bob also oversaw the operations of the new Lake Walden camping resort when it opened in the late 1960s. He and his older brother King McBride have remained active in community matters, serving on educational and civic boards and assisting with their grandfather's Hartland area projects and the Florence Deering Museum. In the 1930s, J. Roberts' 6 children were blessed with growing families of their own. A tradition of annual meetings was begun, featuring the same activities as were enjoyed by J. Roberts' friends and associates. Many of the families spent a good portion of the summer with meals taken in Thoreau Bungalow and sleeping in the 6 cottages. Following the war years of the early 40s, 6 grandsons worked for farm manager Jerry Bryan, cutting and baling hay, combining wheat, and doing whatever was needed. Under his guidance, Bill and Tom Johnson, King and Bob McBride, and Ed and John Crouse learned the value of hard work at 15 cents an hour, and, more importantly, how to become men. In 1970, J.R.'s grandson, Frank Crouse, was elected president and assumed control of real estate holdings and operations with the advice and consent of a family management committee. Working with Bob McBride and others, he oversaw the transformation of the original campground buildings and lakeshore into an exclusive membership camping resort renamed Walden Woods Family Recreation Resort. Memberships were sold to the camping population of Michigan, and the operation soon became one of the finest camping resorts in the state. Later, a truly majestic 27-hole golf course was added, along with the Shops at Walden Woods Shopping Center and a luxurious Village Manor Retirement Center. In 2009, the original 1840s horse barn was lovingly refurbished and preserved for future use. In 2005, Frank's son Brian joined his father in operations management. Residential projects taking advantage of water and golf course views are being master planned for the future. The 1,400-acre property, owned by Walden Woods Properties Limited, a wholly owned family enterprise, continues to be one of the most significant recreational developments in Michigan and a delight to members, guests, and the rapidly expanding family of J. Robert and Fanny Crouse, who gather each year over 100 strong at Walden Woods for family reunions. Each year, these reunions have welcomed at least 4 generations of Johann's descendants.